again. And so now, like, you have marked it, you have graded, and your students expect and need to hear, like, and need you to show them, like, the doorways to walk through in order to have the improvement or have the progress. So, like, how can you do it? And now, like, later on, you have like an activity to actually practice that. And I'm going to show you like a RISE model. And so basically, whatever, like, if you're giving feedback one-to-one, to group, written, or verbal, the same model can apply. So first of all, you have to start with reflect. How reflect? You have to ask yourself, like, so what standards have you already consented and discussed it and like analyzed with your students on which standards are you going to assess them on the rubric? That's number one. Never assess or grade students or give feedback on something that like you haven't taught or they haven't learned or practiced in the tutorial or lecture. So I mean, here in this case is like the rubric. And this is like the rubric in the micro teaching. So this is where, like, or how we're going to assess or grade or give feedback to you. Okay, second, I is inquire. So basically, in short, is like you have to ask yourself, like, what good or like what things that students still haven't met the standards. So you have to find the evidence from students' work. So if you still remember, this is like the quiz question from the last module. And in this case, it's like ABC already here, and it's just D. So like you have to find that evidence. So that's the inquire. And ABC, like, so they have done it. So that's like good. For D is like something missing. For suggest, it's like what actionable suggestions you're giving students so that they can actually improve or meet the standard again. One rule of thumb is to ask yourself, like, if the students can't add a point your feedback, or if they can't show any improvement, that means your feedback fails. So it's that simple. So I mean, in this case, go back to the rubrics, refer, and in this case, a degree, or you can show the material, or you can guide them, or let me give you one challenge, or you can even ask the students to come up with what actions they have to do themselves. So simply ask them, okay, so here can you identify all the evidence like of ABCD from your statement, and which one is missing and which one is here? Basically let them try to figure it out. Okay, how can I actually improve themselves? So this is what student-centered can be about in evaluation as well. So elevate, the last E. So rise, it means like taking the students to next level. So basically it's like unlock the students' potential. There can be something that students can challenge or advance to the next stage. So this is what this stage is about. And in here, in this case, as Yelin said, like, oh, if he or she has already come up with one good ABCD, IO, and then push them like to write another one, or like ask them to elaborate deeper for ABCD. So, so this is like a RISE model, and how that makes sense when it comes to actually giving written feedback. And this is what you're going to do in the common activity. So let me show you here later on. Reflect, it starts with a rubric here. And then inquire, it starts with like, always start with like praising. Praise the students publicly, and then give them room for improvement privately. And here it's like, what standards like they're still missing. And here, like the green box is like, what actionable suggestions they can do to meet the standard again. And last is like, where else that they can take to the next stage. So this is like the RISE model for elements. One final tip. Of course, you can go to Canvas to check more about feedback giving. But one final tip is like, try to give students chance to redo, to repractice again, to show if your feedback works, or to show if the students can actually add upon your feedback to improve, to meet the standard again. Always give them like one more chance. You can reuse like the problem set you have given to them, or you can come up like with another problem, or basically try to ask them to show from their mouth, from their hands, like from whatever like they're doing. Like you have to see that to evaluate if your feedback works. So that's like the final tip. Okay, so here's like the activity. This is what you're going to do. Later on, you are going to give feedback and grade another group's micro teaching lesson plan on Miro. And here's like the group arrangement. Take a look like at the screen. If you're MT1, you're going to grade MT2, and MT2, you're grade MT1. So basically, it's that simple: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.